Hi there, I know I have a Kindle-focused YouTube channel all about reading books, but at the same time, I do have a confession to make. When I was in high school, I hated reading books. It was the worst thing ever, and I really disliked it. The whole idea of annotating, taking notes, reading for fun, I never enjoyed that at all. In fact, every single book assignment that I had in high school, I'm pretty sure I used Spark Notes to read book summaries for every single one. It was such a bad experience for me, and I really hated it. Now, at some point during college, when I was working my part-time job, I wanted to become financially smart. And the way to do that is by reading about how to do that. And I was using Reddit at the time as a personal finance subreddit. I remember going on there all the time and reading information, and I got really hooked on the whole subject of personal finance. And eventually, I wanted to get a book to teach me more about this subject. And I found a book called I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Maneet. This was the first book that I bought because I wanted to, not because I had to. This book really got me into reading and helped me read every single night. I really loved this book, and it showed me that there are books out there that I could actually enjoy reading, that I would want to read, not just because I had to read it for school. This whole experience led me to discover the nonfiction genre of books. I never knew books like this existed. I found books like How to Win Friends and Influence People, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. These are just classic books in the self-development genre, and I just love them so much. I was never taught this in high school. I always thought when people said the most successful people in the world read books, I always thought they were reading books that they were given in high school, those random books with book assignments. But no, this is not what you do in real life. You find books that you actually have interest in, and that's what actually teaches you to read every single day. In this video, I want to share 4 reasons why I think high schools and just schools in general are teaching us to read in the wrong way. I am sure there are people out there who read really well when they were in school, but there are also a lot of people out there like myself who just hated reading and later in life found their love for reading. I want to talk about 4 reasons why I think high schools can do a better job of teaching us how to read books. Let's jump into it. The first thing I want to talk about is this whole aspect of community. When you're reading books in high school, you're all kind of being forced to read the same book. But making books fun involves meeting other people who have the same interests as you. I never once met someone in high school who had the same interests as me in terms of the books that I would want to read. We were all being forced to read the same book, and some people liked that genre, but most people probably didn't. And when you find people who actually enjoy the same types of books that you read, it just makes reading so much more fun. And the power of the internet has really unlocked that for us. For example, I have a weekly newsletter where I talk about the nonfiction books that I read. If that's something you're interested in, subscribe to that down below. But through that newsletter, I've talked to so many people who have same interests as me. And things like that, things like Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, where I can talk about these kind of books, it allows you to meet other people who actually enjoy the same books that you read. It just encourages you to read more and find other books that you know you're going to like because somebody else read it and you know they have the same interests as you. The second thing high school was doing that really ruined reading for me was assigning books. Instead of assigning everybody the same book, I really wish more focus was put on how to find books that you will actually like. The only time I was given an opportunity to find new books was the annual book fair at school. Everyone gets together and buys books, but you just kind of go around and look around for the prettiest cover. You don't really know anything about finding a book that's interesting to you. This is a skill that takes practice, finding which books that you actually are interested in. I was never given that opportunity in high school. And that's a big miss on the high school's part. I don't want to be assigned a book to read. I want to be given the skill set to teach me how to find books that I actually want to read. Everybody has different interests. Everybody has different skills. Being assigned a book in English class or language arts class is not going to get you anywhere. You're being forced to read something that may not be beneficial to you. I'm sure, again, for some people, those books really spoke to them, but for me, those books just felt like work. I really wish more emphasis was put on me learning how to find my own books and just reading books for fun. The next thing I want to talk about is this whole concept of finishing books. When you're in school, you are being forced to read a book from start to finish. And even now in colleges, like textbooks, you're measured on how much you can read and how much information you can take in from the textbooks. This whole idea of having to read a book cover to cover is just something I am now learning is not correct. Especially in the genre of nonfiction, sometimes you'll come across boring sections and it's completely okay to skip past that. When you're in high school, you are given pop quizzes and assignments after every chapter, and those are the things that really condition you to want to read books cover to cover. In the real world though, if you don't like a book, just put it down. There are too many great books out there that would make you want to read a book cover to cover. If a book is boring, put it down, find something else. There's no point in wasting your time. Find a book that really, really speaks to you. There's so many good ones out there, and we shouldn't be feeling this pressure to read a book in its entirety if it's not that interesting. And the last reason why I feel that high schools are ruining the art of reading is the idea of assignments and note-taking. I really hate that I was being told how to take notes. I never liked annotating. I hated using post-it notes in my books. It just felt like extra work, and it ruined the fun of it. Now that I've grown up and I've made my own system, I realized how bad it was before. It really discouraged me from reading books. Now I look forward to reading books because I don't have a pressure of a quiz coming up or annotating in a certain way. I can just do the thing that I want to do, which is read and take notes at my own pace. I actually have a whole video talking about how I take notes on my Kindle. Link for that on the screen right now. It is nothing like annotating. It actually encourages me to read. If you enjoyed this video, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Did you enjoy high school reading or did you hate it like I did? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.